I think of myself as a feminist in everything that I do. I'm a feminist when I wake up in the morning, when I brush my teeth. I'm a feminist in the classroom. I'm a feminist in the archive. And I realize that that's a kind of controversial thing to say today because the F word, as it's come to be known, has garnered controversy for its assertiveness, perhaps. I know that it still has connotations of ball breaking in the media, but the truth is, for me, feminism means seeking sexual and gender equality for all parties in any given situation. So I don't think of myself as someone who wakes up in the morning and thinks, I have to be womanist or woman first. I'm very much committed to a politics of gender equality that I articulate as a woman, as a feminist politics. I'm very forward about this with my students. I encourage them to inhabit whatever political positions they feel are most urgent, and I explain to them why I feel that insofar as we still live in a patriarchy, we live in a world governed primarily by men and often primarily by white men here in the UK. It's urgent that women stand up for women's rights as well as equality rights for people of all different gendered and sexual experiences. But I also encourage my students to figure out for themselves where they want to be on this political spectrum and to articulate that position respectfully, of course, as I always try to articulate my own feminist politics respectfully. But I try to use this particular stance, my feminist stance, in the classroom as an opening of doors rather than a shutting down of doors. When I walk into an archive or into a production that I'm going to be looking at either as an interested audience member or as a scholar and teacher, I bring my feminist politics with me, which means that I look at everything through a critical lens that asks questions about whether or not this piece of work advances gender equality, says critical things about the structures of sexed and gendered experiences in our world today, where its strengths in that respect may lie and where its weaknesses may lie. And when I publish work, I try to take those critical investigations and ideas about the productions or the archive materials I'm looking at forward in my writing. I don't think that everyone in the world needs to be a feminist. In fact, I'm very certain that's not a good idea. We need to have a multiplicity of political opinions and we need to have a multiplicity of perspectives in the public sphere. And that's why I think it's particularly urgent that I remain forceful in my beliefs and in my stance, my political stance as a feminist, because I think of myself as someone who is able to articulate that politics in the public sphere in a nuanced and useful way.